Welcome back to a new episode of the 30x30 series here in SUALVI. Today's episode number 25. And in today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make a animated title by playing around with the mirror effects. So this is the first one I did. Then I got an idea and I mixed them up and this is what it became. And then after I got another idea and I added a new effect to the soup. And then that's how it ended up being. So I'm gonna show you that whole process and let's get started right away. So first of all, we're gonna create our background and a merge node and we're gonna go here, create it there, as always. The next thing that we need to do is we're gonna create a text and we're gonna create a merge node and then connect it to these. And on that text, we're gonna write whatever we want. And then we can play around with the font style. Let's use this style this time. And then make it thin. No, that's too thin. Let's leave it like that for now. All right, so then the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna add a mirror effect there. And the whole thing is basically just playing around with the keyframes. So the first thing that I had was for this video, I used the individual and the rosette effects. So in one mirror, we're gonna use these individual one. So we're gonna start by, and this is where we're gonna, this is where we are going to play around with. You're not seeing anything right now because we have to play with the angle first. Okay, so we're gonna go and create a keyframe at, say, frame 10, and we're gonna make it a little bit crazy. So let's create a keyframe for everything, and then we're gonna move these around and move these all around again, and like that. And most of these things are gonna be a little bit different every time that you make them because you can't really you can replicate it just by copying every single keyframe as with that same data points every time. That's the only way you will be able to replicate them. And they sort of are going too quick right now, so I'm gonna have to edit the keyframes. So we're gonna select everything, move it a little bit, just spacing them out a bit so we have a little bit more time in between actions. So the title is going to be a little bit longer, I guess. And let's see how that first part looks. It is a little bit too slow now, so we're going to have to shorten them up a little bit again. So we're going to bring them closer like that. Let's see now. So that's what we're going to use for the first one. And then we have to go and create a new mirror. We're going to add another mirror. And we can do the same by adding these here. Oop, not there. And then we're going to add this mirror on top. And this mirror, we're going to change it to the not kaleidoscope. We're going to change it to the Rosetta. And this one is a little bit more crazy. So we're going to have to play around with it. So we're going to start at 5 here at the frame 0. And then we're going to change it. Let me start at keyframes for all of them so then we can play around with them. Then this is going to go like that. A little bit crazy. Then this is going to move there. This is only changing the position first. Then we're gonna have to play with a bunch of other stuff too. So we'll see. Okay, let's change the angle again. And then move it. And basically just playing a lot with it, you know? Then we put it in the middle again and make it crazy. Oh, I forgot to add another effect with this one. So we're gonna create a keyframe for that one now, because it doesn't really matter. It's as creative as you want, and as trippy if you want to make it look, I guess you could say. Like that. And that's when the thing ends. So we're gonna go up and we're gonna move it to the side, I guess. There one more time. And then we're gonna bring it all the way out. So we're gonna see how that looks. Yeah, it looks like this star is kind of like making a sort of like a path. And it looks a little bit crazy already. But we're gonna go to our spline tool and we're gonna smooth everything out. You see how crazy this looks? All these changes. Okay, and then the last thing that I had was I also added a displace node. So then what this does is basically making it a little bit crazier. So if we play around with the offset, we will see that it changes. It's supposed to change it. I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think the way where I have to put the displace is here first of all. And then we're gonna connect this here. Nope, that was not it. Let me figure out for a second. And the displace was between the second mirror. So this is gonna be there, and this is gonna go both ways. There. So now this ballsy, a little more starry one, it's gonna have a lot more crazy stuff going around with it. And we can just do that by, let's go here, and we're gonna create a keyframe for those. And then we can play around with the offset. The offset, I like it when it's lower because it makes it look like it has a sort of like a depth a little bit. And then we're gonna play with this one because that one is making it go a little bit crazier. And basically that. And then the last thing that I had was let's see. The last thing that I had, I think I had added another transform node. No, I animated the text. So basically, I created a keyframe for the text and went all the way down. And then I went ahead a couple of frames. And then I made a keyframe to go back to the middle. So it basically looks like the whole thing is coming along at the same time. And another thing that I had was I made the opacity of the text start sort of like a little bit opaque. And then I made it fully solid once it was going up. So yeah, so then after that, a cool thing that could be done with this effect would be to create a sort of like a neon title effect and then add these effects on top of that one. So then it will make it look really trippy and sort of psychedelic probably, and adding some gradient neon colors. That could be a good thing that you could even try with this one. You can download the Fusion file and then basically add a bunch of glows and neon effects. So then play around with it and see what you can come up with. So, okay, we're gonna see how this one looks on top of this footage, and we're gonna let it render. And hopefully this video was a little bit shorter than the other ones because it's not that complicated. It's more of a lot of like trying and seeing what kind of you like, what end result comes up, because it's a really, what would you call it? The result is not really predictable, you know? You have to play around to then find whatever you like. Okay, and then, yeah, so once it renders out, hopefully we're able to see everything. And as always, I hope that you liked this video. And if you did, leave a like, and you can also comment whatever you want. If you download it, let me know or share with us what you did with it. And as always, I hope to see you tomorrow on episode 26 of this 30 by 30 series. Today was episode 25, and I will see you tomorrow here in SUALVI.